Okay, so now we're going to actually get into solving quadratic equations. Okay, and there's many ways you can solve it, but before we do that, we're going to talk about what a quadratic equation is. Okay, so a quadratic equation is written in the form of 8x squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, and a cannot equal 0. So this is called standard form. Okay. So when solving quadratic equations, you are looking for x intercepts, okay, and which are also called zeros. Okay, the x-intercepts are zeros because on the EOG, you never see EOC. They're not going to just say x-intercepts. They're going to say solutions, or they're going to say zeros. They all mean the same thing. It's where it crosses the x-axis. Or zeros. Are the solutions to the quadratic equation. Okay. So you might want to pause the video, but I'm going to move on. So there's 3 different kinds of solutions. Okay, an equation can have 2, 1, or 0 solutions. Okay, and if we were to graph it, the graphs would look like this. Okay, so if it's 2 solutions, it's going to cross the x-axis in 2 places. So I'm going to have 2 solutions. Okay, if it is 1 solution, then it's only going to cross the x-axis once. And again, that would be that x value. Okay, if it is no solution, then it's not even going to touch the x-axis. Okay, so when solving quadratic equations, you're trying to find those x values, those zeros, where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, so if it crosses it in 2 spots, 2 solutions, 1 solution, none, then it's going to be no solution. Okay. So the solutions are often called and you need to know all of these because any of these can come on the EOC and they're going to try to trick you, and we don't want that to happen. So solutions are often called roots of the equation or zeros of the function. Okay, so anytime they're asking you to find the roots or the zeros, then you're trying to find the solutions. Okay, you're going to look and see where it crosses the x-axis, or you can do it by different methods, and we're going to talk about those different methods now. Okay, so there are 4 ways to solve quadratic equations. Okay, one is graphing. Secondly, using square roots, which is my favorite. Okay, thirdly is factoring. And then lastly is the quadratic formula. Okay. Today we're just going to talk about 2 methods, and that is graphing and using square roots. So for graphing, that is the easiest way. Okay, if you have Desmos or a calculator or EOC, do graphing, because with graphing there's 2 steps. 1, graph using Desmos. Secondly, find where they cross the x-axis. Okay, so you're going to graph it, you're going to get some kind of graph. Okay, your solutions are going to be these 2 points. Okay, or 1, or none of it doesn't even cross the x-axis. So for graphing, okay, I'm going to have to show you using Desmos. So when you get done with this video, you're going to watch the second video. It's going to be very short, and I'm going to show you how to do these in Desmos. So go ahead, copy down the examples, and then when you watch my second video, it will make sense and you know exactly which problems I'm doing, and you can come back here and write your answers on. Again, but I couldn't do all that in one video because I don't know how to do that. So you're going to have 2 videos, but that one's going to only be like 2 minutes, so watch it. It will make your life easier. Okay, so go ahead, make sure you have these written. Okay, and then when you get done watching the rest of the video, you're going to watch my second video, and you're going to see how I use Desmos to find the solutions for these 3 problems. Okay, so we will come back to these. Okay, the second method is square root method. So, not square root method, using square roots. Okay. And so the first thing you're going to do, step 1, is set the equation equal to 0. Okay. Secondly, get x squared isolated, then find the square roots. So for example, x squared minus 25 equals 0. Okay, we're going to set it equal to 0. If it's not already. Okay, we're going to get x squared isolated. So this is standing in the way. So this is negative. I need to do the inverse, which is positive. So I have x squared, 0 plus 25 is 25. Okay, and then I'm going to find the square root of both sides. So x is going to be positive 5 and negative 5. Okay, because both the positive and the negative make this equation true. So anytime you're dealing with equations that have squares and square roots, you're going to have two answers. You're going to have a positive and you're going to have a negative. Okay, or you can write it as plus minus 5. Okay, these mean the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to have two solutions. And that is my answer. Okay, let's do another one. Okay. 2x squared minus 18 equals 0. I'm going to set it equal to 0 if it's not already. Okay, I want to get x squared isolated. The first thing I need to do is take care of this 18 by adding. 0 plus 18 is 18. Okay, then I need to do the inverse here, which is division. Divide by 2. I'm left with x squared. 18 divided by 2 is going to give me 9. And then my last step is I'm going to take the square root of both sides. X equals, since we're dealing with squares, plus 9. My own rounding is 9. Or positive 3. Positive 3 or negative 3. Okay, because 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. And that's my answer. So I'm going to have two solutions. I want you to pause and I want you to try these two. Okay, pause the video, work these out, see what you get, and then come back to find your answer. Okay, welcome back. So let's look at this one. I'm going to add 36 to both sides. Zero plus 36 is 36, divided by 4. I have x squared. 36 divided by 4 is going to give me 9. Take the square root. X equals plus and minus 3. So I'm going to have how many solutions? Two solutions. So this one, x squared is not by itself yet, so I need to divide both sides by 7. I get x squared equals 0. Take the square root. Okay, the square root of 0 is just 0. 0 is just 0. Okay, it's not positive, it's not negative, it's just 0. So anytime you have this, you're just going to have one answer. Okay. So one solution, and that is that x equals 0. Now if it was a number, you would have plus minus. Okay, 0, you're just going to have one solution. So let's try these two. Yeah, let's do this one together. And again, I need to isolate my variables, so I'm going to add 15 to both sides. I'm left with x squared. Negative 15 plus 15 is 0. Take the square root. X equals 0. So anytime x equals 0, I'm only going to have one solution. Okay? So anytime x equals 0, how many solutions am I going to have? One. No. Okay. So try this one. So pause the video, work this one out, and see what you get. Welcome back. So again, I'm going to add 10 to both sides. I get 16. Take the square root. X equals plus minus 4. So how many solutions am I going to have? 2 solutions. Okay. And let's try this next one. So we talked about what happens when we have one solution. Okay, and one solution, x is going to be 0. If I have 2 solutions, I'm going to have a positive number. So when do I have no solutions? Where? Let's look at one. Okay, solve this one again, get x squared by itself. Okay, I have negative 12, so I'm going to take the square root. Okay, now I cannot have a negative number inside of the square root. Okay, cannot have a negative inside a radical. Okay, anytime I have a negative inside a radical, I'm going to have no solutions. Okay, and no solutions is denoted by a 0 with a line through it. Okay, so if it comes out negative, it's not going to be, you're not going to have a solution. Okay, so try this one and see what you get. So pause the video, work this one out, and then come back for your answers. Okay, welcome back. So I want to get x squared by itself, so minus 36. I have x squared equals negative 36. Take the square root. Okay, I cannot have a negative underneath the radical, so I'm not going to have a solution. And that is how you do the first part. So I love square roots, okay, because it's just taking square roots, solving basic equations. Okay, graphing, again, to look at that part, look at my 3-minute video, okay, and I will show you how to look at graphs and be able to tell your solutions that way as well. Okay, hope you all have a good day.